Why are we here? Why are we here? Why have we become monks? To practice to overcome dukkha. Dukkha is the first noble truth. What is dukkha? Dukkha is not only, as it is normally translated, as suffering. Dukkha is boredom, restlessness, dis-ease, not comfortable, discomfort, pain, suffering. That's all dukkha. Most of the times we have bodily dukkha, but we don't realize it's bodily dukkha. We eat because out of dukkha, because we are hungry. We call it hungry, we don't call it dukkha. We drink out of dukkha, we don't call it dukkha. We call it thirsty. We sleep because of dukkha, but we don't call it dukkha. We call it tired. We move because of dukkha. We talk because of dukkha. And when we look at this first noble truth, and when we look at our life, then our life is full of dukkha. And that is the first noble truth. Without understanding this first noble truth, there is no way that we can find the path that leads to the end of dukkha. What is the second noble truth? It is it's desire. Desire causes dukkha. Wanting to be, not wanting to be. Wanting to have, not wanting to have. Wanting to become, not wanting to become. That causes dukkha. We cannot just accept the way things are. And so we want to change them. We cannot accept the nature it is. We cannot accept this as it is. The moment we can accept it, there is no dukkha, there is contentment. But because of our discontent, we constantly want to change. We want to change the position of our body, we want to eat, we want to talk, That is the second noble truth, the origin of dukkha. The third noble truth is just a happy statement. There's an end to all the dukkha. And the fourth noble truth is that what we practice. The path that leads to the end of dukkha, comprised of 3 columns, sila, samadhi and panya. But what is necessary in order to go this path are 3 virtues. The virtue of generosity, being able to give things that we think that belong to us. Why is it important in the path of practice? If we cannot give material things, if we are too stingy to give out material things, on the spiritual path we have to let go of our ideas, we have to let go of the ego. So, it is a training in order, once we train, to give away material things. Then it is already the first step in the right direction to give up our ideas, our opinions, our views, and so on. The second virtue is respect. Respecting. Why is it necessary on the path? If you cannot respect our teacher, if you cannot respect the Lord Buddha, if you cannot respect the Dhamma and the Sangha, the Arya Sangha, how can we ever go this path? If you think we are cleverer than the Lord Buddha, if you think we are cleverer than the teacher, or if you think we are cleverer than the Dhamma, if you find fault with this, if you find fault with that, that blocks our path and we don't even need to start going the path. The third virtue is gratitude. Being grateful for the things that are given. We as monks should be grateful for the things that are given. Lay people who live here should be grateful for the things, for the opportunity that it is given to them. To live here, to have a kuti, to have a place to live, and to get all the necessary things, and nothing costs a penny. It is all for free. It's for free for all the people who want to practice. Dhamma has to be free. The opportunity to practice has to be given to anybody, be it a rich person or be it a very poor person who has nothing. He has to have the opportunity to be able to practice the Dhamma if his heart so desires. That's why all the things in this monastery, all the things in the tradition of Luang Pu Man, Luang Dhamma Boa are all free. Books are all free. CDs or talks are all free. There is no charge for anything. So that's why we should be grateful. In the morning the monks are going on Pindapat to get the food for the lay people who are here, so that they have something to eat. The monks receive, pana, that means in the afternoon for afternoon drinks or medicines, and you take part in it. We all take part in it. So that's why we should be grateful for the opportunity that is given to us, and especially use this as a motivation, to practice as much as we can. You will not find too many places where you can practice the way you can practice here in this monastery, or the way that it was used to be able to practice in the monastery of Luang Dhamma Boa, or probably Luang Pu Man. If you have enough of these virtues, if you have developed these three virtues to a certain amount, that means we are able to come here to this monastery and we are able to start to practice meditation. The path of Sila, when you are here in this monastery, you keep the 8 precepts. The first precept is not harming any living being, not taking what is not given, the second one. No sexual misconduct, the third one. No lies, no harsh speech, no criticism, the fourth one. No alcohol, no drugs. The third one is changed, for the 8 precepts, in complete abstaining from sexual conduct. Not sleeping on high beds or comfortable beds, not listening to music or dancing, going to dance and shows, and not eating after midday. I think I covered all. So these are the precepts that we keep when we are here in this monastery. When we live in this monastery and start to practice the path. So that covers the first column, and covers Sila. Samadhi. What does samadhi mean? It means concentration plus sati. What is sati? Sati is awareness. So how do we develop it? By putting our attention on one point. A point that does not move. A point that is very easily to focus on. That is either the breath at the tip of the nose or underneath nose, wherever you can feel the breath most prominently. Or it is the mental repetition of the word Buddha, or the combination of the word Bud with breathing in and Do with breathing out. And there where we focus our attention on, be it Buddha or the tip of the nose. First of all, and whenever the mind goes out, then we bring it back to the Buddha or we bring it back to the breath. That is our work. From the moment we open our eyes to the time in the evening when we close our eyes. Constantly repeating Buddha or constantly observing our breath at the tip of the nose. In order to get the mind calm, in order to center the mind. It needs to center in, and for this, in order to be able to center in, it needs a point of focus. And this point of focus cannot move. So we cannot follow the breath. Some people follow the breath, or use the breath at the abdomen, but it's not a stable point, it's not a fixed point. We need a fixed point. In order to become one-pointed. The word one-pointed already means it is not several points, it is just one point, and this one point has to be fixed. Once we can keep our concentration on the breath, or we can keep our concentration on the Buddha, then we observe the breath, know about the breath. The breath is deep, the breath is shallow, the in-breath is long, or the breath is long, or the breath is short, the in-breath is longer, or the out-breath is longer, so whatever. Now it is switching from in-breath to out-breath, or out-breath to in-breath. We know every step of the breath. And just the same with the Buddha. Now the Buddha starts, now the Buddha ends, now the Buddha is in the middle. Now the next Buddha comes, there's a short break, and then the next Buddha comes. We have to know. We have to know the quality of the Buddha. The Buddha is fast, the Buddha is slow, the Buddha is deep, the Buddha is shallow. That's what we have to know. Without this knowingness, we will not be able to develop sati. Without sati, we will not get really calm. We might get concentrated, but we will never reach the stage of upachara samadhi. Upachara samadhi or access samadhi is the state of calm, is the state of contentment. It is, I call it a safe house, where we actually feel safe. The world around us still exists, the senses still exist, but there's one thing that does not exist there. There is this person that we call us that has to go for that moment. That's what we call the ego, or the commentator, or the one who judges, or the one who has opinions about what happened. This one goes for that time. As long as we are in upachara samadhi, there is no ego, there is no kilesas. There is just pure experience, but there is nobody. And that's what I want to say with it. There's nobody who experiences it. Listen, Listen to it very well and understand it clearly. You have to develop this knowingness. This knowingness is the sati. You will see it when you get really concentrated, and the knowingness that is still at the point of concentration drops back into the heart. This knowingness, without this knowingness, we cannot do anything. So that's why we have to develop. But first of all, we need to this concentration, being able to concentrate on one point, without being distracted. And then develop the knowingness about the object that we observe. It is important. We have to use this knowingness or the sati, in order to know what the object is like or what the object is doing. It doesn't matter what we observe, it doesn't matter what we investigate then later on. We have to know. The knowingness, the true knowingness is, if you call it, it's the true nature of the citta. And only this way, that is what the Lord Buddha taught. He taught Sati Patana Sutta, or Anapana Sati. Anapana, breathing in, breathing out, Sati. Having the Sati on, the breath in and the breath out. Having the knowingness, knowing the breath in and breath out. Or be it the Buddha, whatever you feel more comfortable with it, it really does not matter. So remember this very clearly. I mean, the one thing is the concentration, and the other thing is knowing about the object you concentrate on. Both of them need to be developed during your practice of samadhi. And you do it day in, day out. You have here enough time. You can have about to 18 hours of practice. You can have 20 hours of practice, if you like. There's nothing disturbing us. There is no jobs to be done except, sweeping in the afternoon. And if you want, having food in the morning. And the rest of the time you can completely put into practice. And the third stage is Panya. Panya, what does it mean? Wisdom. Wisdom has nothing to do with knowledge. Knowledge we can gather very easily. We just read a few books, we listen to a few talks, and we know. But this knowing is very different from the knowing of the breath. We know, and it seems to be fixed. The knowing of the breath is constantly changing. That's a different kind of knowingness. The knowingness of each object at each time interval. That's what we need. Not the knowledge. The knowing of some things that don't seem to change. Knowing how late it is, knowing how the laws of physics and so on and so on. This is not what we need to develop. We need to develop this flowing knowingness, the knowingness that knows every moment. So for instance, we're investigating pain. When we sit long enough, there is pain, so we investigate it. So we know every moment of this pain. And then we know that the pain is changing. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's weaker. We know it is point-wise or it is area-wise. And then we investigate further on. Where does it actually sit? Where does it actually reside? Is it in the skin? Is it in the bones? Is it in the flesh? Is it in the tendons? Investigate it like this. Observe it until it shows you where it is, where it's coming from. And when you come close to it, it jumps to another location. It is like a magic. It's like a spook. It jumps from one location to the other. Once we are close to find out the truth about the pain, then it jumps off. So we go to this location, and then we follow it from one location to the next location until it shows us where it's coming from, where it's really coming from. Because we realize very easily, or we can realize very easily that the pain is not within the body. The moment we get up, the pain is gone. How can that be? If we hurt ourselves, no matter if we sit, if we stand, if we lie down, the pain is there. But we get so easily fooled, We get so fooled, by the moment we get up, so that's what we think is the cure, It's a pain killer, We kill the pain, by just getting up from meditation, sit, and the pain is gone. As if it has never existed. That's why we especially have to investigate pain. What is it? Understand the magic. Understand the magic of the kilesas creating this kind of pain. I mean, if it is really pain, when you go up, when you get up from your practice, or when you stop walking meditation, I mean, the pain suddenly disappears. And you have never thought about it. You only thought about, that's the way how to stop the pain. That's how you got fooled. You got fooled by the kilesas that tell you. That's the way how to stop pain. You just stop meditating and the pain is gone. But you still don't understand what is pain. Pain is created. At least this kind of pain, when we sit in samadhi, is created by the kilesa. Just like fear is created by the kilesa. I mean, they can haunt us, with this fear, with this pain, with anger, with greed. They can haunt us, they can drive us, they can manipulate us. Constantly do that. And we only say, yes, my Lord, yes, you are right, yes, I need this, no, I don't need this, yes, I like this, no, I don't like this, yes, if I do this, I might get scolded. That is fear. Or fearing of the darkness, or fearing of unknown sounds. What is it? It's the kilesas, bring it up. The kilesas need to have a safe word, they have to have a plan, as long as everything is within their plan and they feel safe. If something happens unknown, then they get worried. They get worried or get afraid. They get afraid. They are the ones who get afraid of dying. The chitta is not afraid of dying because it knows it doesn't die. It's only the kilesas that are afraid of dying. So, investigate what is fear. Because it prevents us from doing the right thing. Fear prevents us from doing the right thing. The same thing with anger prevents us from doing the right thing. The same thing with greed prevents us from doing the right thing. And especially the same thing with pain. The right thing would be to sit on. The right thing is to concentrate. Because the longer we sit or the longer we walk, the deeper our concentration becomes. And then we cannot only experience upachara samadhi, but appana samadhi, where everything disappears. In upachara samadhi, only the ego disappears. Only the one that takes hold of these experiences disappears. But in appana samadhi or deep samadhi, everything disappears, the whole universe disappears, and we are gone. Time lapses. There is no time, there is no space, there is nothing. Nothing that we could describe with the words of common reality. All what we can say is, we knew. But we didn't know of any objects, because in this realm there are no objects. It is a special realm. It's called clear knowingness. Wolong Dhamma also called it the Nibbana of the little man. The Nibbana, the preview of Nibbana that every one of us can experience. That, if you want to know what is the end of dukkha all about, that's where we go. But your effort, it's too little to get there. Even the effort that you display day by day. Why do you still hang on your thoughts? Why do you still hang on your memories? Why do you still, attach to your plans? Because that is the thing that hinders you to go into samadhi. Let go of all this and just observe. This breath is constantly changing, so it becomes interesting. And once it is interesting, you're gone. You're either in upachara samadhi or in appana samadhi. How many times have you thought this thought? How many times have you memorized this memory? How many times, And it's not getting boring? No. You spice it up. Today you spice it up with a little pepper. Tomorrow you spice it up with some salt, Just a little diversity, and it seems to be a new thought, it seems to be a new memory, but actually it is the same thing. The same thing that we have done over and over again, year over year over year, or day over day, week over week, month over month, year over year. There's no difference. And we still buy into it. Oh, this thought I still have to think out. I mean, how can you get into samadhi if you're still attached to these thoughts and to these memories? Don't indulge into it. Just let it go. See, there's a thought, go back to the Buddha or go back to the breath. There's a memory, go back to the Buddha, go back to the breath. Don't even investigate what kind of memory, what kind of thought. Just say there's a thought, go back to the Buddha. There's a memory, go back to the Buddha. Until the mind knows it cannot think it out, until the mind knows it cannot dive into the memories. I mean, you have to put in a little bit effort, if you want to have some result. Samadhi is like digging a hole. I mean, if you dig very hard, if you're hard working digging, I mean, you get a hole. And the deeper the hole is, the more it disappears. In the end, it will be, if it is really deep, it will be so calm that you can't see this universe anymore. And you will feel safe. Just like people, In the hole they're safe, nobody can attack them. But you have to do the work, Not thinking, oh, this is difficult, now I change my method, now it's difficult. It is just like, digging a hole, and then you come upon a big stone, and then you think, no, this place is not good for digging, let's go to another place, And then the other place has other things, and then you think this place is not good for digging, and all day long, you're completely exhausted, but, you never dig the hole. You try it, and then after it becomes difficult, you try it at another place, You change your method. That's what I want to say with it. You change your method, this is not good, I should change my method, I should make it faster or slower or whatever, Or today it's not working, Oh, today it's not working, Yesterday was so nice, Yesterday is memory, Realize that, Yesterday is a memory, Before is a memory, this morning is a memory, And our memories are not clear. If you do the work, you get the results. Remember that. Remember that clearly. If you do the work, you get results. And the results is this contentment. The work is keeping at the Buddha or keeping at the breath. That's what the work is. I hope this is clear. So, and then you investigate pain. Once your mind is able to focus on one object, for long enough to be able to investigate. What is pain? That is something we can already do. Even in samadhi, that is the only investigation that is allowed within samadhi. Investigation of pain when the pain becomes so strong that we cannot concentrate on the Buddha or on the breath. Then we can investigate, what is pain. Once we can investigate what is pain, we can investigate any kind of feeling. We can investigate hunger, we can investigate tiredness, we can investigate fear, we can investigate hate, we can investigate greed. Just observe this feeling. Look where it is, where it arises from, how it changes, and so on. Most of the feelings actually, except for pain, disappear instantly the moment we put our attention onto it. Boredom, for instance, very easily, the moment we are interested in what is boredom, it's gone. Because boredom is non-interest. Yeah? The moment we become interested, there is no more boredom. Huh? Restlessness is the same thing. If you concentrate on one point, restlessness is gone. Because restlessness is the diversity of concentration. Yeah? If you put the concentration back onto one point, the restlessness is gone. Get clever, Not only listen to what I say, do it. Yeah? I did it. All of these things that I'm teaching, I did it myself. Yeah? I had a little bit of help, from my teachers. Yeah? But most of the things that I teach you, I did by myself. Yeah? I found out by myself. How is the breath? Yeah? I was using the breath. Yeah? So good. Yeah? It is your life, it is your responsibility, and all what I can do. Yeah? And I'm slowly getting fed up. I'm always talking about the same things, always the same things. Yeah? And it just doesn't stick. Yeah? 2 days later you ask the same thing. Yeah? 2 days later you complain about the body. Yeah? And so on and so on. Yeah? I've given so many talks. I explained so many things. Some things, in very detailed. Yeah? But it doesn't stick. Yeah, it goes in, and then the kilesas, bring up an interesting thought about the world, and then it's gone. Yeah? So, it's a waste of my energy. Yeah? So don't waste my energy in teaching you. And put some effort in your practice. Already 2 weeks of the rains retreat is gone. Now there are left 10 weeks. Yeah? 10 more weeks to go. Yeah? And within these 10 weeks, at least you can reach Upachara Samadhi. If you put your effort in the right place, you can reach Upachara Samadhi. Some of you might be able to reach even Appana Samadhi. Don't talk here. Only what is necessary, yeah? Don't talk, don't engage, don't call up anybody, yeah? The less engagement we have, the more we can concentrate during the day on the same object, yeah? Okay, and with this I end the talk. Michi เข้าใจไหม ไม่เป็นไรฟังในใจก็จะเข้าใจ